was faster and faster.
Cold facts, Assen didn't just give us another MotoGP winner. I think it reminded us just how competitive this championship is really becoming. A first Japanese winner in 22 years. And Trackhouse dominated one of MotoGP's greatest circuits. Jorge Martin, he extended his championship lead despite missing testing and spending much of the season learning a completely new motorbike. Marc Marquez, he rode like a champion rather than chasing a victory at all costs. Was another difficult afternoon and Grand Prix for Acosta on the KTM. And Ducati, they suffered brake problems with Pecco and Acosta, a huge crash for Marco Bezzecchi, and more questions than answers. So let's talk Assen, Trackhouse, Aprilia, Ducati, KTM, and why I think MotoGP's competitive order is becoming harder to predict every weekend. Welcome back to With Antone MotoGP. Now, Trackhouse and Ogura. He wins his first ever Moto Grand Prix, the first Japanese Premier Class winner in 22 years. Well, what impressed me most wasn't simply the victory, but he overcame a ride height device issue during the race and he still found a way to win, and that's championship composure. Trackhouse then completed an incredible 1-2 finish with Raul Fernandez, and what's even more remarkable, Fernandez, he won the sprint on Saturday, he finished second in the Grand Prix on the Sunday, and he still doesn't seem to have a confirmed contract for 2027. But look, it's not a bad way to remind the paddock what you're capable of. One question I keep coming back to though, has Trackhouse found something with Aprilia, with that Aprilia package that everybody else is still searching for? I think it's best not to underestimate the work being done by Davide Brivio. Okay, across at Aprilia with Jorge Martin, and honestly, how is he now leading the World Championship? He missed a big chunk of the pre-season testing, which is really valuable. He hasn't even had one full season on that Aprilia. He's still learning that motorbike, and yet every weekend he keeps finding points. And again, another podium and another good total of points from the Grand Prix weekend. And now he leads the championship. You know, sometimes consistency is worth more than just brutal outright speed. And the stats say that 22 times the leader after Assen Grand Prix goes on to win the championship. So that's certainly something to think about. Now across at Ducati, Marc Marquez finished 6th over the line, bumped down to 7 from this track infringement, but I actually thought that was one of the smarter rides of the season. He didn't force the issue, he didn't override the motorcycle. He accepted the points when the victory wasn't there, and championships are often won on days exactly like this. Marc was aware that if you go into the gravel in Assen, you're going to get hurt, and very much so we saw that. Now, Fabio Di Giannantonio certainly didn't make life easy. What a great race. He raced with Marc incredibly hard. They pushed and they touched, and Marc went a little bit wide, and Fabio Di Giannantonio eventually got that long lap penalty. But it does make you wonder, what is Ducati and the management thinking? Of course, they want their riders to race, but they also have a championship to think about. Now, across with Pecco and Acosta, congratulations on being a brand new dad, but his race ended again with a brake problem. It's a rare reliability problem for Ducati, but this theme with Brembo brakes and Pecco is certainly starting to develop. And Alex Marquez, after the big crash on Friday, he somehow fought through the injury and pain to finish inside the top 5. That is a gritty performance and a great ride by Alex. Now, KTM, Pedro Acosta's afternoon ended early once again. This time it wasn't a mechanical problem. This time it appears to be arm pump. He's going to be heading in for surgery this week. So I hope and I wish him a speedy recovery, and I hope it's pretty straightforward. I'm going to have much more to say on KTM later in this week, so look out for that episode, because I think there's some much bigger questions surrounding that project. And the beast, Enea Bastianini, a great ride, finished across the line in 7th, bumped up to 6th after that penalty for Marc Marquez. Now, the rest of what happened at Assen, well, Marco Bezzecchi had a huge crash around 200 kilometres per hour, and he was taken off to hospital, and it brought to end a disappointing weekend for Marco Bezzecchi. And we've spoken about this before, the MotoGP season, it's a mountain, and sometimes it's incredibly difficult to keep climbing that mountain every Grand Prix. So we look at the last couple now, 3 Grand Prix in a row, 3 0 points. I wish him well, and I hope he recovers quickly. Now, injuries continue to mount. Firmin Aldeguer from Ducati was ruled out of the Dutch Grand Prix with a fractured vertebrae from his Friday crash. We're not going to see him now again until after the summer break. Hasn't been a season for Firmin. Started with the leg, and now he's out again. And of course, Johan Mir, well, we know he could find a crash, and he did that on lap 1. Now, Toprak failed to finish on another difficult MotoGP weekend. This left-hand corner chatter, it was so bad he pulled into the pits. It's a funny thing to see, but Fabio Quartararo managed at least a top 10 finish as Yamaha tried to search for what's going on. It seems from Fabio's point of view that the M1 Yamaha is around 10 kilograms overweight. That's got to kill acceleration. And Jack Miller, well, he seems to be getting the runt of the litter at the moment. Saturday in the sprint, he retired with a rear broken brake bracket, and that seems the 4th time that's happened. I don't know what's going on there, but what about track limits? God, they have those sensors set very sensitive. It seems like some tough calls were made during the Grand Prix, and I know Pecco, Mr. Go Free, thinks so as well. But what did you think of the Assen TT? What did you think of Ogura's ride? What a fantastic effort and domination from Aprilia and Trackhouse, a satellite team doing well. Why don't you drop your thoughts down in the comments, because Assen didn't just produce a race winner. It showed again how small the margins have become. We saw an historic victory, a smart championship riding, mechanical failures, crashes, brilliant recoveries, and riders delivering under enormous strain and pressure. Because right now, MotoGP isn't just unpredictable, it's becoming one of the most competitive championships that we have seen in many years. There are so many riders in contention for the title. Okay, remember, it's data, not noise. And if you've liked the episode, give us a thumbs up. If you're new, why not drop us a sub and share the video around? And I look forward to your comments. Okay, thanks for watching this week, and we'll catch you again real soon. Okay, bye for now.